The more you do something, the better you become at it. And we think that when we look up to people, that they were just like given this God-given ability, that they were just born with talent, that they were born, a comedian was born really funny, and that a news anchor just was like great on the mic from day one. And the reality is that this is just a matter of conditioning.
Right, so we got
stepping outside your comfort zone and
second day,
being able to persevere through that anxiety, through that fear. Everyone is scared the first time they do something. You don't think a dentist, the first patient he ever sees, is shaking in his boots? It's the reality of it. But after you've been doing it for 10 years, it's no longer shaky. Right? And that's a little easier to wrap your head around than more glorifying professions that are a little harder to
the mat.
be prominent in.
Pivot on the
like
nail.
acting or
10
athletics.
like that.
These people poured their heart and soul into something.
3, no rush.
And so they stepped outside the anxiety and the fears in the beginning and just kept putting themselves out there, failing, mistakes. That news anchor, over and over again, just practiced and made a lot of mistakes in their regimen. But they just did it over and over again, and eventually you see the end result. Only after they're really good at something. But they're only really good at something because of all the effort they put in beforehand. They don't become really good at something and then they decide to put the effort in. That's not how it works. This world is 50-50. But you have to give first to receive. The giving has to take place first. And then you will receive. Right? This stuff is, you think it's in the Bible for nothing. People write about it because they know that that's the way that life works. They see it with their own two eyes. Everywhere around you is a give-take world. The ball goes up and it comes down, but you got to fill the ball up first for it to come down. And so you need to get over the hump in the beginning. To really put yourself out there, step outside your comfort zone. You will feel discomfort. You will feel fatigue. You will feel exhaustion. But what you feel in the beginning is not what it's going to be like forever. And that's what you need to get over. That's what you need to understand going into it, is that the beginning is the hardest, right? Like, we don't want any wobbly skyscrapers. So the foundation is the most important part. That's more time is spent on that than any other floor. The foundation is the hardest part to lay down. But once you do, then it's easy. Then the skyscraper goes up really fast. If you ever seen construction. And that's the hard part, is getting over it in the beginning. 3 weeks, it's a habit. It will be ingrained in your central nervous system if you do this every day for 3 weeks. Studies show this. The first hardest part are the first 5 days. Once you do that, once you get over that, things become really much easier for you. And then you're on this path towards greatness. The anxiety goes away, the fear goes away, the stress goes away. The hardest part about getting a ship moving is the beginning. That's where, like the NASA shuttles, the most fuel is used in that launch. That's where the most energy and effort is required. And we get caught up in the trap thinking that that's the energy required and the effort required throughout the entire process. And that's not the truth. You will adapt. It will be easier for you. But it's a matter of getting over that fear in the beginning to then get to that point where it's ingrained in your central nervous system. Then you're on autopilot. Like, if you ever wrote a paper for school before, and it's really hard in the beginning. You procrastinate, and you just put it off. And then it's like the night before or something that it's due, and then you just like sit yourself down and do it. In the first 15 minutes, it's like writer's block, it's hard, and then you break through. And then it's like you're on autopilot after a while. And it's like, where are these thoughts coming? It's just unbelievable how the brain works. And you're like, you're writing.